In a maintenance shaft, a worker stands below, unaware of the danger above. A massive elevator component breaks loose and falls directly onto him in a split second. This devastating moment shows why overhead work zones must always be cleared and secured. In a textile factory, two workers feed material into a running machine, a routine job that turns critical in seconds. One worker leans in too close, and suddenly the loose fabric catches his hand. Before anyone can react, the powerful rollers pull him in, head first, wrapping his body in layers of spinning cloth. His coworker panics but refuses to run. He fights against the relentless force of the machinery, trying desperately to pull him free. Every second feels like an eternity as others rush in to shut down the power. Miraculously, they succeed. The trapped worker is pulled out, bruised, shaken, but alive. This near miss is a brutal reminder. Never reach into a running machine. Always use tools, guards, and emergency stop switches, because even one loose thread can pull you into disaster. In a warehouse loading bay, a worker walks across the floor, unaware of an approaching forklift. In a split second, he steps into its path, and the two collide. The forklift's load shifts and crashes down, trapping his feet beneath the weight. He manages to pull free, suffering painful injuries but avoiding something far worse. Always stay alert. Forklifts move fast, and one blind spot can cost you everything. On a construction site, a worker uses a crowbar to loosen a sealed panel, unaware of the massive pressure building behind it. The moment the panel gives way, a violent surge of water explodes outward, flooding the area in seconds. This kind of accident can be deadly. Always assess pressure zones and verify containment before breaking through any sealed surface. One wrong move can unleash disaster. Two workers install a new street sign, one steady on a ladder, the other guiding the support pole from the ground. But as the pole is released, something goes terribly wrong. The entire frame tips forward, pulling the worker and the ladder down with it. He crashes hard onto the pavement as the structure collapses around him. This shows the risk of working at height without proper stabilization. Always secure ladders, use safety harnesses, and never rely on someone's grip as your only support. In this video, a truck-mounted crane is working dangerously close to overhead power lines. As the operator lifts the boom, it comes into direct contact with live electrical cables, causing sparks, arcing, and a near-disastrous fire. This kind of accident can be fatal, not only for the operator but for anyone nearby. Large vehicles like cranes, dump trucks, and concrete pumps must always maintain a safe clearance from power lines. According to safety standards, equipment should stay at least 10 feet, 3 meters away from low voltage lines, and even farther for higher voltages. Before any lifting work begins, the site should be surveyed for overhead hazards, and warning markers or physical barriers should be installed to indicate danger zones. Operators must use spotters or signalers trained to monitor clearance while moving equipment. Electrical utilities should be contacted when working near energized lines. They can insulate, de-energize, or temporarily reroute them to prevent contact. Remember, electricity doesn't forgive mistakes. One spark can turn a simple lift into a tragedy. Plan ahead, stay alert, and always respect the power above. In a marble warehouse, two workers attempt to move one of the massive slabs by hand, but in a split second, the heavy slabs lose balance and start to tip. One worker tries to hold it, but the force is far too strong. Several slabs come crashing down, shattering on impact. Stone slabs can weigh hundreds of kilograms, and even one misstep can be deadly. Proper handling requires mechanical lifting tools, such as vacuum lifters, clamps, or slab trolleys, not human strength. Storage racks must be angled and secured to prevent tipping, and workers should never stand between slabs. This near miss serves as a reminder. In material handling, physics always wins. If it falls, step back, not forward. Use equipment designed for the load, and always respect the weight you're working with. Like in this footage, workers are loading stacked metal frames onto a truck using a crane. As the load is lowered, one worker reaches up to guide it by hand, while another stands directly below. A fatal mistake. Moments later, the entire load slips and crashes down, landing on the man underneath. This is a classic example of poor load handling safety. No one should ever stand or walk beneath a suspended load. It can weigh several tons and drop in an instant. Operators must ensure all workers are clear of the drop zone before lowering or releasing cargo. Loads should be balanced, properly rigged, and lifted using certified slings or spreader bars to prevent tipping. Supervisors must enforce exclusion zones, using barriers or spotters to keep people out of danger. Remember, in lifting operations, gravity is always in charge. If you're under the load, you're in the kill zone. Stay clear, stay alive. In this workshop, a worker tries to adjust a heavy machine part, but it suddenly slips and falls on his leg. He screams for help as coworkers rush in to lift the load off him. This accident shows why mechanical handling tools like jacks or lifts must always be used when dealing with the heavy equipment. Never rely on strength alone. One wrong move can mean permanent injury. Work smart, not just hard. In this shocking scene, a forklift is being hoisted by a crane, with the operator still sitting inside. It may look controlled, but this is one of the most dangerous things you can ever do on a work site. A sudden shift in the crane's balance, a snapped sling, or even a gust of wind could send both the forklift and the driver crashing to the ground. Forklifts are not designed to be lifted with someone on board. Their center of gravity changes instantly, making them unpredictable and unstable. Proper practice is to remove the operator, use certified lifting points, and stabilize the load with taglines and ground spotters. In lifting operations, there's no such thing as just for a moment, because one wrong move could make it your last. At the CCTV footage shows a man walking casually along the sidewalk, unaware of the danger beneath his feet. Just as he steps forward, the ground suddenly gives way, revealing a deep sinkhole. He barely escapes serious injury. This scene is a powerful reminder of the importance of site barricading and hazard communication. Whenever underground work, pipe repair, or soil excavation is underway, the area must be properly fenced off, marked with warning signs, and covered securely when unattended. Pedestrians should never walk near open trenches or unstable pavements, even if they appear solid. A moment of neglect in securing a work zone can turn a regular street into a deadly trap. Safety barriers save lives. Use them every single time. This worker climbs a scaffold with no harness, no guardrails, and no footing locks. When the structure shifts, it collapses in seconds, taking him down onto a parked car. Always secure scaffolding, use safety gear, and never climb without proper stabilization. Gravity gives no second chances. This rescue attempt quickly turns into a dangerous situation. A man climbs down from a third-floor window using a hanging ladder, supported by workers below. But the setup isn't secured, the ladder isn't anchored, and the load isn't evenly distributed. As the man descends, the ladder shifts, pulling the rescuers off balance. In seconds, the entire structure collapses, sending everyone crashing into the snow below. Thankfully, the soft landing may have reduced injuries, but this could have ended much worse. Whenever working at height or during rescue operations, ladders must be anchored firmly, and workers must be secured with harnesses connected to independent lifelines, not the same structure they're climbing. Team coordination and proper rigging save lives. Improvised rescues without safety checks can turn heroes into victims. In this CCTV footage, a woman walks past a parked forklift, unaware that the operator is about to move. Without checking surroundings, the driver reverses and knocks her down in an instant. Forklifts should never operate near pedestrians without clear warning zones or spotters. A second of carelessness can crush a life. This worker stands dangerously close to a moving industrial press. In a split second, the heavy roller drops, trapping him underneath. Machines like these must have clear safety zones and lockout procedures during operation. Never reach or stand near active machinery. One mistake can be fatal. A gas delivery truck begins to reverse as workers move around the back to adjust the cylinders. To make their way through, two of them bend down, trying to pass under the truck's loading platform. But in that exact moment, the ramp suddenly lowers, pressing down on one worker's back. The others rush to lift it, shouting for the driver to stop. It's a terrifying reminder of how dangerous blind spots can be when working around heavy vehicles. Before reversing, drivers must check their surroundings and use a signal person for guidance. And for workers, never cross behind a moving truck. One small misstep in timing could easily turn into a life-changing accident. Several cranes lift a massive steel roof structure, but as weight shifts unevenly, the entire frame begins to buckle. In seconds, the cranes collapse one after another, bringing tons of steel crashing down. This is why synchronized lifting and load balance are critical in heavy construction. One small miscalculation can destroy everything. A worker reaches inside a running machine, trying to fix a jam manually. In just seconds, his sleeve catches, pulling him violently into the moving parts. His coworker rushes to hit the emergency stop, but it's already too late. Never bypass safety guards or work on active machinery. Always shut it down first. A moment of impatience can lead to a lifetime of loss,